After Game 2, I said that Luka Doncic couldn't do it alone. But in Game 3, with the series back in Dallas, Kyrie put on a scoring clinic.
Hauser's done a good job defensively. Tries to contest, but Irving just better.
Putting together one of his best individual performances of the 2024 playoffs.
14 on the shot clock. Irving sidestep three-pointer. Got it! Some Kyrie chaos here in the first half. He's got 20.
The result? The Dallas Mavericks lost anyway.
3-0 lead here in these NBA Finals. 10 straight wins by Boston.
The Mavericks lost their early advantage.
Inbound, there's the alley-oop lob. And this is the largest lead of the finals so far for the Mavericks.
They lost their composure.
He's making that motion to Kleber. Kleber is an excellent three-point shooter, and he passes it quickly to the corner. He's got to look to be a threat.
And with the series now sitting at 0-3, they may have lost any slim chance they had to win a championship. Now, DeMar DeRozan once sent out a tweet that read, "Man, this one of them nights. I be having good days. Then I be having days where it just hit me like a ton of bricks." And personally, I've had times where I've related to that sentiment. Last year, I was struggling with stress and anxiety, a full-time job, huge responsibilities, while also trying to build a business. I felt like I couldn't share it with my loved ones. I didn't want to be a burden. The thing that helped me the most was therapy. That's why I'm excited to introduce BetterHelp, the sponsor of today's video. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist trained to listen and give you helpful, unbiased advice. You can talk to your therapist through phone calls, video chats, or messaging, whatever you're comfortable with. So start your journey to better mental health today from the comfort of your own home. Visit betterhelp.com/goat, answer a few questions, and you'll be matched with a professional who has experience with any struggle you are going through. Take care of yourselves, and remember, it's okay to seek help.
The Celtics are hoping that by the end of the week, they'll be able to take that home. No jinx, though. We don't want to talk too much about it, but it is here in Dallas, just in case.
The main storyline heading into Game 3 was the health of Kristaps Porzingis. Porzingis had been a thorn in Dallas's side through 2 games.
Porzingis was the height advantage. Shoots over him. Shot's good. He's 5 of 7 from the field.
And in Game 3, battling a very rare injury he sustained in Game 2.
A doctor I spoke to said it's a rare injury because that tendon is on the inside of the foot.
Porzingis was ruled out. If they needed any reason to play with confidence, there it was. The basketball gods had gifted the Mavericks hope on a silver platter.
Mavericks, Lively gets the pass, goes up, shot blocked, still goes in. Lively stuck with it, and a chance for a three-point play with a foul.
Coming out on fire behind Kyrie and Luka.
Doncic creating some space. Mavericks scoring at will in the paint right now.
They took their 7-2 lead, pushing it all the way to 25-12 at the 4:48 mark of the first quarter.
Meanwhile, the Mavericks have hit 10 of 15. Irving a three-pointer. Got it! Kyrie Irving from way downtown.
Fans in attendance let out a sigh of relief. This was the Dallas team they'd gotten used to seeing in the first 3 rounds. Fluid, active, cohesive, clicking.
Rebounds.
Oh, Dante Exum! Exclamation point!
Boston looked shell-shocked, but they weren't going to fold this easily.
Ahead to Brown. Brown goes up and in off the glass. He is just so dynamic.
Following a pep talk from Drew Holiday, the Celtics woke up and stormed back to cut the 13-point lead to just 1 point, closing the quarter on a Sam Hauser three-pointer and a Jason Tatum dunk.
Final seconds, plenty of time. Tatum's down the other end. 2 seconds ago. Tatum throws it down with a second remaining.
The Mavericks threw a haymaker, and the Celtics didn't fold. Instead, they responded, and it was with about a minute to go in this opening stanza that the Luka complaining really started.
A moment where Luka takes a minute to bark at the officials, doesn't sprint in transition, and you're playing 5-on-4.
And it didn't stop all night. Make or miss, Luka let the refs hear it all night.
Got one goal, Horford the rebound. And then Doncic picks up the foul.
And his teammates fed off of that negative energy.
Meanwhile, Irving making contact with Jaylen Brown. That's 2 fouls on Irving. You know, there has not been a technical foul so far.
After playing it neck and neck in the second quarter, the Mavericks went into halftime up 1. What happened over the next 13 minutes of gameplay to start the second half will likely become the story of this series.
Horford has the height advantage here. Brown cuts, layup, and it's good. And the Celtics have their first lead of the game.
A self-implosion Dallas will have to think about all summer if they go on to lose this series.
They're leaving him open. He doesn't take the bait.
Holiday, little bit of room, throws up a three and nails it.
An example of what near-perfect offensive execution on the road looks like.
Brown goes up top to Tatum. Tatum lines up, three-pointer is good. Jason Tatum's fourth three-pointer. Now the Celtics haven't missed yet here in the third. They're 6 for 6 and have their largest lead of the night.
A permanent stain on Luka and Kyrie's surely Hall of Fame-bound careers. In 13 minutes, the Boston Celtics showed me I was wrong for picking against them in this series. In 13 minutes, the Boston Celtics showed the entire world that they were for real.
With Lively lurking. Good ball movement here. Brown, good look from the corner, nails a three.
That all the hours people had spent dissecting their past failures were in vain.
The Celtics' young superstar flopped on the NBA's biggest stage. His failure to launch and deliver when it mattered most was a cruel ending to a breakthrough season for the forward.
That all the criticism we've had for years of three-point shooting teams might have been wrong. That all the criticism Joe Mazzulla has taken for his analytical approach to basketball was unfounded. Indeed, the Boston Celtics had come into Dallas, gotten punched in the face, and came back.
Tillman tries a three. It's good! Xavier Tillman from downtown!
Boston Celtic bench went absolutely nuts after that.
They did it undermanned. They did it against a formidable opponent.
Doncic again has Tillman on him. Goes inside, flips it up. Tillman plays it beautifully.
They didn't play with their food.
Times in the third that they had to take, I don't know, countless dribbles.
Jaylen Brown with the flush. A savage slam from Brown.
They were on the verge of becoming one of the 5 most dominant champions of the current century.
Here's Tatum down the other end. Throws it down. Tatum got hit.
The Celtics were real. Their net rating was real. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown were for real.
Now pulls back, jump shot. It's good. 11 points here in the quarter for Brown.
13 minutes wiped away 6 years of question marks. But with the score 91-70,
It can devour a defense. Derek White answers right back. It's a Celtics tsunami here in the second half. A 21-point lead.
the Celtics bench going nuts on every made basket, Jason Tatum screaming to the heavens, Dallas somehow found life.
The double team finds Green. His three. Got it! Josh Green knocks it down. Timeout Celtics. It's cut to 11.
At the 11:07 mark of the fourth, Boston was up 21 thinking about that 18th banner. But by the 6:11 mark of that same quarter, Drew Holiday fouled Kyrie Irving on a three-pointer.
Midway point here in the fourth. Irving trying to get away from Holiday. Fires up a three. They call a foul.
Sending Irving to the line for 3. This cut the lead to 3. The momentum, which had favored Boston for nearly 22 minutes straight, was firmly with Dallas. Every thought of the Boston Celtics vanquishing their playoff demons went out the door.
Brown spins. Gets inside. Looking double team. Poked away.
It took 13 minutes of game time minutes for Boston to build a seemingly insurmountable 21-point lead, and in just 5 minutes they'd given it right back. And it was with the score at 93-90 following a very confusing miss from Drew Holiday that Jason Kidd made a fatal mistake.
The Holiday. Holiday a three-pointer.
He called a timeout.
Jason Kidd calls timeout.
Coaches have a tendency to know when their team needs a minute to compose themselves. Jason Kidd called the timeout Joe Mazzulla had refused to call. The Celtics were completely unraveling.
Tatum goes to P.J. Washington, had it poked away.
The Celtics desperately needed a minute to stop and refocus.
Because Dallas is going to keep coming.
Doncic, three-pointer, shot won't go. Lively right there, banks it home.
And Jason Kidd gifted them that opportunity. And almost as if he knew, Luka threw his arms up in disbelief when he heard the whistle. You can never boil an entire game down to one mistake, especially a game in which the Mavericks shot themselves in the foot repeatedly. But this timeout by Kidd stopped a 23 run.
P.J. Washington left wide open and hits a three.
And then the unthinkable happened. For the first time in his life, Luka Doncic fouled out of a playoff game.
Brown runs into Doncic, blocking foul, and that's it, he's fouled out.
The Mavericks lost their best player with the game still in reach, and they probably lost the series. The Mavericks would cut the lead to just 1 on a Kyrie pull-up, before the Celtics finally put up their first points in nearly 5 minutes on a Jaylen Brown offensive rebound and tip.
Shot clock at 9. Irving pull-up, jump shot. It's good! 1-point game. Tatum the drive, sidestep. Shot is up, won't go. The follow by Brown.
But a PJ Washington turnover led to a Derek White 3 as every Celtics fan on the planet let out a sigh of relief.
I don't love the tempo that Boston's playing with offensively.
And an offensive foul called on PJ Washington on a screen. Drew Holiday on the drive, kicks it back out. White puts up a 3. Bang!
They'd weathered the storm of the century. It took 13 minutes of game time through the third quarter to erase 6 years of playoff failures.
The Heat are going to the NBA Finals.
And it took 7 minutes to remind us why those doubts and questions existed in the first place. The Celtics survived Game 3 and now hold a commanding 3-0 lead in the series following a complete team performance.
A 3-0 lead here in these NBA Finals. 10 straight wins by Boston, and Luka Doncic on the Mavericks in a spot that no team in NBA history has been able to recover from.
To quote Dominic Toretto from Fast and the Furious, it doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning.
It don't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning.
The Celtics have won 3 games in 3 very different ways, and now they're 1 win away from hoisting the 18th banner in franchise history. Is it over? No NBA team has ever come back from a 3-0 deficit.
Unbelievable! Julius Erving hit it hanging underneath. He was trapped, and he still got the field goal.
It's happened 4 times in the NHL.
And a 3-on-2. Clifford gave it across. It's held in a shot. Safe. Rebound.
It happened in the MLB when the Boston Red Sox did it in 2004.
Back to full. Red Sox fans have longed to hear it. The Boston Red Sox are world champions.
In fact, the NBA is the only major league where a 3-0 comeback has never happened.
Irving back to James! Oh, he throws it down! Boy, from our angle, this looked like it was going to be a toss, lob pass out of bounds.
But that doesn't mean it hasn't almost happened. In the 1951 finals, the New York Knicks forced a Game 7 against the Rochester Royals, but lost in Game 7. In the 2003 first round, Dallas went up 3-0 against Portland. Before the Blazers, powered by Zach Randolph, Bonzi Wells and Rasheed Wallace came back to force a Game 7. And then we had last year, as the Celtics almost came back from a 0-3 series deficit against the Miami Heat.
They let us get 2, so don't let us get another one.
Before an unfortunate Jason Tatum injury to start Game 7 sank their season.
Tatum one to fire in the lane, crashing into Vincent. And he twisted an ankle, perhaps. He did. The left one. He's hurt. Yes, he is.
If there's any team that should understand the meaning of it's not over till it's over, it should be this Boston Celtics team. Conventional wisdom says this series is over. Basketball wisdom says the Boston Celtics are for real. History says the Dallas Mavericks can at best push this to Game 5, but it's never over till it's over. Stranger things have happened. The Dallas Mavericks will have less than 48 hours to compose themselves. They'll be playing for pride on Friday night, and they'll have to take any attempts at coming back in this series 1 game at a time. Luka Doncic has played some of his most inspired basketball with his back against the wall.
Durant will shoot. Free throws at Devin Booker, and Doncic go face to face. Well, you know what? It's Wainwright has to step in.
And he'll have to put on the performance of a lifetime to keep his team alive. Win Friday. Send the series back to Boston. Coming back from 3-0 has never been done, but 3-1? Kyrie would know a thing or two about that.
Irving and Curry, one-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good! Kyrie Irving from downtown! And the Cavaliers by 3!
If you end up enjoying this video, please subscribe. It's free, and you can always change your mind. Anyways, wherever you are in the world, be the GOAT of that moment. Stay GOATed.